Okay, guys, we're back again. Tech support called me back. It was something with version 8. So if your version 8 lesson isn't working, then you need to call them and get it on prefixes and suffixes.
What's that number?
800-1759.
What?
Yeah, I don't mind.
800-1759.
Okay? Okay, so we're back to prefixes and suffixes. Okay? And like, you know, like I tell you on every lesson, pay attention. Because it's really important stuff and it's really good. And you're going to see how much it's going to help you in your editing.
Let's see how Total Eclipse handles prefixes and suffixes. Your Steno dictionary probably includes common prefixes to hook onto a following word.
I will give you a little piece of advice. Don't do your prefixes and suffixes the same. Okay? And like back when I was going to school, I think a lot of us were doing it the same.
What do you mean the same?
Well, like your prefix, like reenact. So re is going to be re. But if I go to summary, it's going to be some re ri.
All right.
So you have to be careful because that one letter can make a whole difference. Okay? If you don't put the U on it, you just have the E, now you're going to have a prefix. You know, so now it's going to add it onto the word, and now it's going to be resum. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to do. No, it's going to be some, whatever the next word is. Okay? So now it's going to add it onto that. So you have to be real careful to do them differently. Okay? And that you put them in there correctly. Okay? Because if you don't, then it's going to do what you tell it to do. So if you put that carrot, which that's a carrot, you put it in the wrong place and you put it over here, now you just made it a suffix. Does everyone know what a prefix suffix is?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone not? Please tell me if you don't, because it's pretty important. Everyone's good?
And suffixes to hook onto a previous word. Eclipse does a great job of adjusting spellings as it adds prefixes and suffixes, but please remember, it will only adjust the spellings. If braces surround both the delete space symbol and the prefix or suffix text.
Did you understand that? The brackets tells it what to do. You don't have to, like if they say, if you have study and you need studied, and you go in there, you push W and D, and you don't have it correct, you have it in parentheses, guess what it's going to do? It's going to be S-T-U-D-Y-D. Is that the way you spell it? Does anyone spell it like that? I've got that application for that auto mechanics if you do. Okay. Don't get me hungry. So if you put it in the brackets, it already knows what to do. You don't have to tell it to do anything. You don't have to do anything. It's already going to know. Drop the Y, add the IED. Just by putting it in the brackets. That's it. But if you don't do it correct, it's not going to know what to do. And it's not going to do it correct.
So the caret lets you know if it's going to be a prefix or a suffix,
Yeah.
and it gets rid of the space.
And it gets rid of the space. So it's going to put it together. The caret means put it together. So is it going to put it together? It means put it together with this word or put it together with this word. Wherever the caret is, that's where it's going to go. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay.
Eclipse will not automatically adjust the spelling.
You see how they're doing it here? They're telling you, do not do it that way, because it's not going to react the same way. Okay? So don't put just the caret inside of the bracket and then the other word outside. Okay?
spellings if only the delete space symbol is within braces. Eclipse comes with a prefixes and suffixes kit with a dictionary that includes several hundred entries. All you have to do is decide whether you want to use the steno that is given as an example, or press the enter key to get inside and change the steno to something that you know you would write. The documentation.
You see what it was doing there? I didn't really stop. I mean, I am, but I really didn't. Because you don't need to change it. Don't reinvent the wheel. Okay? It already knows what to do. Okay? And it should have all of these endings in there already. But if it doesn't, then you know how to add it. Okay? But if you do it a different way, and you do ing, pick up that application for the auto mechanic and just know that it's not good. Okay? Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Okay?
Shows how these prefixes and suffixes added to common root words could help translate uncommon words beautifully. Much more could be said about prefixes and suffixes, but this is the subject of a separate in-depth ePower video tutorial which shows you step by step how to take advantage of the prefixes and suffixes kit.
Any questions? Awesome. Don't do that. Cup your hand.
Where should you go to see all the endings?
It's W. W. So like right here, you're in the tutorial, right here.
Lowercase.
Get right here. So you're gonna get into hyperkeys, which is what? Alt Z. Okay? And I want to do translating. Okay? So what's the endings? What's the endings in hyperkey? W. So go into W and it opens up this box. So all you can do all of this stuff just by pressing the letter that's right here. You don't have to go on the end of the word, backspace, ing, get back into hyperkey. You don't have to do all of that anymore. You don't have to do it. All of them are right here. Okay? And it's that easy. And I'm going to show you how easy it is. You have translate, so I'm on translate right here. Everybody see that?
Yeah.
I went into prefixes and suffixes. I want to change it to ing. So what letter is that?
G.
It's just G. So push G. How? It does it. Drops the E, adds the ing. Good to go. That's how easy it is, guys. You don't have to do all of this stuff anymore. You don't have to go space over, back up, delete, drop that one. You don't have to do that anymore. It already knows what to do. Okay?
So on that window, they were all suffixes. Was the reason for that because of where you had the
Yeah.
So does that have to do with where you have the pointer thing, whatever?
I don't know. I've never really paid that much attention to it. No, I guess not, because if you go into W,
Could you put the cursor on the word even?
Cursor, that's.
And like was it?
no, because you should be able to do like recombine.
Okay.
And I guess they are all. I've never noticed that. Good eye. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, I'm gonna show you something in just a little bit. I don't suggest you do it, but you can. So So you can change these things. You can change the endings. You can. I'm going to show you how to change the endings, okay? But I'm going to show you how to do it. All right?
Can you foresee like any reason that it would be useful to change it?
Well, I mean, really, like a lot of times what you're doing, hang on just a second. A lot of times what you're doing is you're adding suffixes. That's really what you're doing. I mean, you should be right, you should be on top of it to where if they say recombine, a lot of times you're not dropping the prefix. You're going to drop the whole word. So a lot of times if you're going too fast, sometimes you'll get combining and you just do combine and you forget to put the suffix. And I think that's their thought process behind it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you're not just going to put the prefix and then drop the root word. Does that make sense? Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen. If anything, you're going to drop, or you're going to add it on to another word and stack it onto another word. So that's what, this is kind of for. 2 is for stacking. Yeah.
My W key is not working.
I'm sorry?
My W key does not work. It's
Are you in hyperkey?
Let me bring my stick. And,
Just a little harder in the middle word.
And what
Everything else works. I tried it on the other things.
what key is for prefix?
huh?
What key would be for prefix?
I'm sorry?
W is for both.
Is it? But all I see are suffixes.
That,
You see?
No.
Where did you start?
Oh no, it says look, it says up top. Prefix and oh wait, go back to the W.
on the window, it says prefixes and suffixes.
Yeah.
We just had that conversation. Because
just-
I asked the same
Because we were paying
question.
attention.
Exactly.
Oh, you had several
I feel a lot.
copies of it open.
Maybe you just have to scroll up or down.
No, it's
Yeah. And when you find it, let me know. Maybe you need to add it. Because remember how you said you were going to show us how to change it? Maybe that's what it meant. Yeah, I know exactly what it is. Just don't repeat it after whatever it
Guys,
says.
be careful when you're in this lesson player, that you don't have too many things open. And a lot of times, like you'll have something open, then you have the visualizer, and then you go back in and I want to go back to that thing, so I click onto the toolbar thing and open it again, and now you have several things running because it may not do what you want it to do if it's not acting right. It could be that. Shut everything down, get out, and then go back in. Okay?
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shoot.
Regarding the prefix situation, we're looking through prefixes. I mean the W, and we can't find any prefixes. So is that what you're going to show us how to add
What?
prefixes? Like she was saying, reconsider.
Well, I mean, guys, you're not really going to need the prefix. I don't know why it's more suffixes is what it is. But if you want to use prefixes, you can.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's there, but it's not.
It's there, but it's really not. So it's more suffixes. Okay? And I'm going to show you how to change it if you want to.
But we really don't want to.
No, probably not. I'm telling you, you're going to use suffixes so much more than you are prefixes. Okay? And if you define these things right, you're not going to have to worry about your prefixes. Because it's the first part that you hit of the word that you're already writing. So if they say reinstall, you're not going to hit I don't know what install is, and then just keep going. You're not going to do that, okay? But they might say reinstalling, and you reinstalled, and you thought you hit G and you didn't, and you kept on going. Or it stacked onto something else. You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Got it? Don't even ask me more questions.
So it's showing you how to define your suffixes, okay? So this is all you have to do. You don't have to do the TION, the CION, for the shun, if that makes sense, okay? All you have to do is put the ION, and it's gonna know what to do, okay? Same thing with RI. Remember I told you? RE is the prefix. RI is the suffix. Got it? So it's also going to show you like stacking. And I think we talked about this a little bit. Okay? Like when you say he was running the store. And you put he was run, and you have the G, and you're not quite up, and you're already hitting the T, and it puts it together like this. Okay? So it comes up TG. Well, if you've done it once, you're probably going to do it again. Okay? And it's just being quick with certain things, or being lazy a little bit with this hand, and then being quick with this one. Okay? So if you have, and unless TG is a brief for you, I don't know, maybe, I doubt it, then this is going to show you how to define it, okay? And that's how you define it. Bracket, caret, ing, bracket, no space, right there. Because this bracket tells it what to do. The bracket tells it to put a space, so you don't have to put a space. Because if you put a space, now you're going to have two spaces. Because it's already telling it to put a space. And then you just write D, and then it already does it. Okay? Same thing with, putting the, he was telling stories, and the stories came up with your question symbol. Okay? Well, you don't have to worry about what the word was, whether it was stories, runnings, examples, any of the S, okay? All you need to know is that it was an S ending. And you put it in there with the question, and that's all you have to do. But you have to be careful because unlike the question is a command now. It's a command telling it that it's the question symbol. So now it's telling it return question, space, space, cap next, by doing that. So if you do this with the suffix, and then you just put Q right there, what's it going to do?
Question mark.
Put a Q on there.
It's going to put in just a Q. It's just going to be a Q at the end of whatever it attached that last thing to.
I did that on my last test, and I couldn't get it to delete. So is there
Couldn't get what to delete.
the Q? It came up after whatever the last phrase was, and I couldn't get rid of it.
Is it?
Other than a D?
It was at the end of the sentence?
Yeah, it came up.
I think I remember helping you with that.
No, you weren't.
I didn't?
No. It was Monday. You weren't.
Maybe I dreamt it.
God forbid.
Anyway, if it happens, more than likely it's in your dictionary wrong, and you need to talk to somebody, me, tech support, somebody, to figure out what's wrong with it. Because if it's coming up at the end of the sentence, something went wrong. It should always be at the beginning. Question answer should always be at the beginning. Okay? And if you didn't, then you just defined something wrong. Okay? Okay, and here it's just telling you what to do, okay? So I don't have to remind you RE, so they're showing you how to do it, okay? It says your turn, but it's not. They're showing you how to do it. It's not really your turn. And that's how you do it. So, and we'll kind of get into it here in just a bit, I think. It might be in the advanced one that they show you. Okay, here we go. So now you're going to do it. Is everyone here?
Yes.
Get here. Get right on R. Everyone there?
Yes.
How do you global? G. Which one is it?
2. Or no, 3. 3.
Which one is it?
3.
It's 3. So all you do is push 3. Look right.
Yes.
Yep.
Want it in your main?
Yes.
Absolutely. That's what it does. Okay? Now right here, and I'm going to teach you something. This is a word. Preponderance. Okay? Well, be careful when you put it together. Okay? Does that make sense? I'll explain a little bit.
It's not one word.
Just define what you need to define. Because if the root word, part of the root word can stand on its own, then define only that. Okay? Does that make sense?
Can we do the brief for preponderance?
Oh yeah.
P, PD?
Well, I mean, what they're doing is just giving you an example here.
Okay.
It's just an example of preponderance. There's a brief for preponderance. Okay? It's PP. P, P.
And-
PPD is preponderance of the evidence.
Right.
Y'all know that?
Yeah.
If
Yes.
not, write it down. You're going to hear it. Trust me. But see how pond can stand on its own? Okay? So get on pre, global it, which is what?
G.
G. Which one is it?
3.
Hmm?
Three in the brackets though.
Which one is it?
3.
It's
No,
none of
It's
them.
not there.
Oh, it's
It's not in.
It's
It
none
has
of
to be
them.
in the bracket.
It's none of them. So now what you have to do is put the bracket, P-R-E, caret, bracket. So it should look like this.
6.
The caret is 6. Okay, so it's going to be shift 6. It should look exactly like that. Is everyone like that?
Yes.
Okay, push enter. See what it did? Come here. Everyone here?
Yeah.
Global it, which is what?
G.
G.
3.
Which one is it? It's 3. 3. Enter.
So if you would have done 3 on pre, you would have just done pre-space.
It had just done pre, space,
Okay.
pond. See how important those brackets are? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So highlight this one, which is what? Global? G.
I don't think it's in
It's
there.
not there.
Why does it have a Y at the beginning?
I'm sorry?
Why does it start with a Y?
Because A and S is answered. A and S is answered. Okay? So that's why Yance. All right? So I don't really know if this is going to come out or not. We'll do. So now it's a suffix, so it's caret, A-N-C-E. We'll try it. Caret. Got it?
I'm gonna let you do it first.
I know, me too.
It worked.
It worked.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so A-N-C-E and then carrot, right?
No. Carrot.
No, carrot first.
Bracket, carrot, because it's a suffix. You're still attaching it onto that word. Carrot, ants, carrot. Got it?
Got it.
So come down to this one right here. Pay attention, guys, because this is going to be one of the ones where you put it together. Because this is a stacking one. You have a question real quick?
Yeah, whenever I did the suffix, I did it all caps. How do I fix that?
You did it all caps?
Yeah.
Just highlight it again. Get on the all cap.
No. From
Freaky.
freaking judge. Judge from
Oh.
Frumming. Judge Frumming? Let's hit G and see what happens.
Okay, everyone got it?
Judge.
Yeah? Good.
Judge from. It is
Judging from what I
Okay.
have seen.
Get on the T. Everyone here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone. Global it, which is what?
G,
G. Which one is it?
3.
It's 3. Do not press enter yet.
Oh, that's what happened.
Huh? Guys, look at this real quick. See the way they set it up? Bracket, carrot, which tells it it's a what?
A suffix.
A suffix. ing, bracket, no space, and then from. Okay? Now let's do something. I'm going to try something. I'm going to show you. I'm going to put a space in there. Okay? Look what it's going to do. See what it did?
Oh, it spaces between judging.
Now it has
and
2 spaces. You see that?
Yeah.
So if you don't do it right, it's not going to come out right. Be careful with what you're doing. Look at it again, and then look at it again. Then make sure, okay? And then push enter. All right? Make sure that it's correct. If you do it correct, guys, it's going to open up a world of stuff for you guys, okay? If you do it correct. All right?
So how do you go back to fix it from that?
Like if you did that,
Put it there and then.
get right there, global it again. Now it's telling you it's 5. No space. See how it has no space? Now look what it does. Now it puts it right. Okay? So mess with this. Mess with this. Mess with your practice transcripts too. Because this way, if you mess something up, it's not that big of a deal. On the practice transcripts, when you put it in the main, now it's in your main. Now it really is in your main. Here, I don't think it's putting it in your main. It's just staying in the lesson. I've never really messed with it. All of this stuff is in mine, so I don't really know. So be careful, okay? But I know this, if you mess up here, all you have to do is reinstall the lesson. But it shouldn't be going into your main, okay?
The extra spacing, do you get points taken off of your test?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, you know, and really, maybe it's my fault, okay? Because I'm trying to give you, yeah. Well, guess what? It's going to stop. But, you know, I'm trying to give you a little encouragement of, you know what, I'm focusing on my writing right now, you know, but on some of your tests, punctuation, paragraphing, wow, okay? But really all I'm grading is just the words, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to show you one. And that's why I'm telling you, a lot of you guys, you think this is a race. It's not a race, okay? Take some pride in your work, okay? Let me show you the right way to do yes, sir. That's the right way, okay? It's not that, because you're talking to a sir. Yes, sir. It's not yes, sir. Okay? Stuff like that. And then, I mean, and then I see, yes, sir, I went, blah, blah, blah. And then that. Okay? How? You just missed one. And they're going to start taking off for it. It's going to start happening. It's going to start happening. Okay? I'm trying to get you to a certain speed, and I know that some of you guys, and we're kind of getting off base here, but some of you guys haven't taken the English for court reporting. That should probably be the next thing you take.
It's crazy.
Huh?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Are you taking it right now? Yeah, it's good. It's going to be good. But you have to pay attention to what you're doing, because little things like that, not proofreading, going to cost you a test when all of the words were there. Okay? Because you were just going too quick. And I graded a paper the other day where it was the. Was it the car that went, and in simple proofreading, that's all it is. And that's why I tell you, go through it, print it, look at it again, then print it again. But once you put those headphones off, editing is done. Okay? Take pride in your work, guys. Okay? And read a little bit. And I'm not saying y'all don't, but read a little bit and pay attention to punctuation. Okay? And that's really how you're going to get it. And I'm not making fun. I'm really telling you how to do it. Okay? Because you can take a sentence and punctuate it 3 different ways, and it can have 3 totally different meanings just by punctuation. And you can change that whole sentence because, well, it sounds better like this. Well, that's not, bless you, that's not what they said. Okay? So be careful. All right? So if you want to go through this thing, you can. Go through it. We're not going to go through anymore. But I'm telling you, go through it. Go through it and fix these things when you have time to do it. Go in there, reinstall the lesson, do it again, and keep doing it. Yeah?
I know it's not English, but I had a question yesterday during that, and I know you're a court reporter. There was will you please state your name?
Yeah.
It's a command.
It's a command. It's not a question.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was another one that started out with
State your name.
And they're not going to take off for something like that on that. I don't think.
Well, as far as the test goes, but as far as your written transcript, how would you do it?
I do period.
Okay.
Please state your name. And it's a question.
There was
Will you please state your name and address?
Yeah. Well, it's a question. Will you please state, even if they say please state your name, I always put a period on the state your name part.
Even if they say, will you please?
Yeah, I do. I don't know.
I thought they covered that last week when they were saying that was a command in English. Even though they're asking it in a way of a question, it's still a command.
Yeah.
There was another one. I guess that's where I was confused, because there was another question that was a question, but it sounded like a command.
Yeah.
So
If you think of it, let me know. And
I'll, you know what? I didn't bring my book today, but I'll screenshot it and send it to you.
Okay. All right.
Can
Then
we
forward it.
do that, not the next one, the second one?
This one?
After easy? Mhm.
All right. Okay, we're gonna come down to this one real quick,
By special request.
because my lovely assistant wanted to go through it.
Left check.
So y'all see what this is? You see what it is right here? What it's saying is, will not make their duties any easier. So really what they did was they put the suffix on with the question. Okay, so get on that, global it, which is what?
G.
G. What is it?
6.
Huh?
6. Okay, not 6.
6.
Yeah, 6.
What is it?
It's, because it's a question, and then the ER is supposed to be the,
So which one is it?
6.
It's
Six.
6. I just wanted y'all to think about it. Look what it's going to do. See how it says easy? And it's with the Y. And then it's going to make a question. So watch what it does. Look at that. All by doing bracket, caret, ER bracket. That's all you had to do. And the bracket, question, bracket. That's all you have to do.
So mine didn't go down to the Q.
Huh?
Mine didn't, true, stay where it was.
You did 7.
Huh?
You did 6. You did 7.
Did you pick 6?
Use your error.
Seven. That was it. Get on the I. Global. So it's not in there now. So now you got to put it in there. So do bracket. Caret. Bracket. Capital Q. Pay attention. All right. Any other questions?
Occasionally, you'll need to add a prefix or suffix. While editing, you can click on a toolbar icon or open the Edit menu to insert a prefix or suffix, or press hyperkey W. At this dialog, G is a shortcut. And this time I'll use the shortcut D. And of course, these suffixes were added with proper spelling adjustments. Much more could be said about prefixes and suffixes, but this is the subject of a separate in-depth e-power video tutorial, which shows you step-by-step how to take advantage of the prefixes and suffixes kit.
Got it?
No.
Where were we?
Huh?
Where were we?
And prefixes and suffixes.
Dialogue.
We're in the prefix and suffix lesson. Yeah. Guys, really, I didn't stop it because it was all stuff that I had just explained to you. Okay? So just showing you how to add on to the word. Okay? Pay attention right here.
Let's see some of the ways that our magic helps you prevent spelling errors as you work.
Huh?
Word reversals.
I think that's as loud as mine goes with this.
It seems to get softer and softer as.
It's all the way up. Let's see if I can. Yeah.
Are just one of the small problems that AutoMagic understands. This question should have been, is she still working there? Pressing 5 is a fast way to reverse these words. This should have been working, but I need a different suffix. Pressing 2 here would be a fast way to pick suffix ing.
So trust your notes when it's time until it's time to not trust your notes. Does that make sense? If you know that it's wrong, fix it. You're gonna keep it up there. If she still works there, seriously? I mean, and you know, maybe sometimes people talk like that, I guess. And maybe you were going so fast, but you know that it's wrong. Fix it. That's it. And maybe you just hit the wrong one. They're right here. You hit the wrong one. You hit this one instead of this one. No big deal. Get on there. W, G, fixed. That's it. You don't have to come over here, backspace, get the other one off, ing. Okay? You don't have to do all of that. Now there's an easier way.
Here's another suffix problem. This should have been on the form. Yes. Pressing 3 makes that correction. And no.
So you see what it was doing? So you don't have to go over there and erase the suffix because the AutoMagic gave you the example. Did you see that? Mm-hmm. Did everyone see that?
No.
See? On the farming, yes. Is that right? No. It's on the farm. Okay, no big deal. I don't, just get on anywhere in this word right here, push 3, and it changes it to farm. That's all you do. That quick, that easy. Okay?
Pressing 3 makes that correction. And now AutoMagic sees that I may need a comma in front of yes. Pressing a comma would quickly insert the comma in the proper spot. Compound.
So with the comma, period, question mark, and you're right here, what's it going to do?
It's, yeah.
Can you insert a question?
It's going to put it behind. It's going to put it behind. But what if you do Q and P? It's going to put it at the end of the sentence. Because now it's a command for at the end of the sentence. Does that make sense? So if you need a comma, and you're right here, and you need a comma right here, and you're on E, it's not going to do it. Okay? You have to be in front of it for it to put it behind it. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
You know what I noticed about what you're talking is, like you said, to the next word.
Yeah.
The beginning.
Yeah.
It automatically spaces it the way we need to.
Yeah.
So
Guys, you don't have to do anything.
Today,
All you have to do is push period, and it knows period, space, cap, next. Don't reinvent the wheel. I'm showing you easier ways to do it. Work smarter, not harder. Okay?
Words are another problem. Sometimes it may be that 2 words need to be joined as one, or that 1 word needs to be split into 2. Pressing choice 1 here corrects this unintended compound. This should have been she was outstanding in the field. A typing error occurred, and the faint underlining in red is calling that to your attention as you type. The correction is also being offered on the AutoMagic list. Just press 9. AutoMagic also integrates type over tracking. My steno for technological and my steno for tool are very close to one another, so I tend to replace one of these words with the other. Eclipse tracks that type over, and AutoMagic offers it as a choice.
You see what it's doing? And we're going to come to a lesson that's called track over. And that's when you have 2 words that are kind of the same, and it's going to show you how to do it. So if you do it once, or maybe you've never put it in your, maybe it's in your dictionary, 1 letter off, was going to say, you know what, it's kind of close to that. Do you mean that? So always look over here instead of just going in and using it as a word processor. Does everybody know what I'm talking about when I say word processor? It's when you push in and just start typing, because what? It's not learning anything when you type. It's not. When you start doing commands, it starts learning what you're doing. Okay? And it's going to give you those. So next time you have working on a tool, yes, and it was supposed to be working on a technological, yes, but you had tool. Well, guess what? Technological is over here. So instead of having to type in technological, all you do is press 7 and it puts it in there. just by using the software. Does that make sense? Okay.
If I press 7, that makes the correction. And here again, Automagic is watching for punctuation that might need to be inserted. One last correction here. Let's assume that this is not misspelled, but the reporter didn't have an alphabet that included hyphens. Pressing 3 would stitch with hyphens. Pressing 4 would actually correct the spelling. If I just go back, pressing 3 would now stitch this spelling.
You see what it's telling you there? So if they tell you, well, where do you live? Lafayette. Can you spell it? Yeah, it's Lafayette. Well, the guy doesn't know how to spell the city that he's from. It's not your job to correct him. It's not. Okay? So what you do out here, what I would do is put a SIC, S-I-C, and it just says that's what I heard. That's what was said, so that they don't go through and like, oh, court reporter got it wrong. Court reporter didn't hear the other T. BS. I heard it. And I typed exactly what was said.
Do you use a brief for your SIC? For that whole thing?
Yeah, I do SIC, and it puts it in there. So if you have time, it's not that big of a deal. You can do it when you're editing. It's not that big of a deal. More than likely, you're going to catch it when you're editing. Okay? And, you know, it is what it is. But say they did say Lafayette, and you put Lafayette, no big deal. More than likely, it's going to be in your dictionary. So it's going to say, and they just showed you that right there. See, no. Okay, so they have it with one T. Oh, I forgot the other T, but they did say book 2 T's. No big deal. Push 4, put the other T in there. You don't have to go in there, tab over, get in the right place, and Shift T. Seriously? If you look in here, all you have to do is push 4. That's it, and it corrects it for you. And if they're spelling it, when they spell it, does it look like this? No. It's like this. It's stitched. That's what stitched is called. And I'm going to show you how to do that too. So if it doesn't give that to you as an example, it's always going to give it to you as an example. So if you go through there and your L period, A period, F period, A period, Y period, you know what I'm talking about? So now you're putting the period, so now it's telling that there's somebody is spelling something out. Okay? It's going to be like that. But let's just say they didn't give that to you as an example. I'm going to show you how to be able to stitch it. And it's real easy. Okay?
Pressing 4 would actually correct the spelling. If I just go back, pressing 3 would now stitch.
So let's say you got it wrong. Well, you know what? Now I need to type it right. Go in there and I pushed 4, which gave me the right spelling. Come back on here. It needs to be stitched, so you stitch it. No big deal. So even when you put the correction in there, it's going to go back and say, okay, well, you have this word. It probably needs to be stitched. Do you want to stitch it? Yeah, I do. Okay, stitch it. So even when you correct the word, it's going to give you that option. Okay?
This spelling. These are just some of the ways that Automagic takes advantage of the spelling checker and type over tracking features built into Eclipse.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any questions about that? Guys, mess with this. Just like those hyperkeys, you should still be messing with that. And you should be messing with it until we get out. Use it. Use every letter in there. And use it on a practice thing. It doesn't, even if you go back into this lesson and mess with it in the lesson, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that's what it's asking you to do. Just do it and see what it does. Oh, what does Shift H do? What does Shift H do?
It takes you down to the bottom of the
Takes you to the bottom of the page. Okay? So there's all kinds of things that you can learn by messing with it. By reading the page, you're like, oh yeah, that's what it is. And then you go through it and now you need to use it and you're like, what was that, delete? What was global? Because you haven't messed with it. The more you mess with it, the more familiar you're going to become with it, okay? And that's common sense, okay? So mess with these things, mess with the suffixes. I kind of want to say prefix and suffix, but it's not, okay? And we'll get into it more in the advanced, because they have like these and then they have an advanced that we'll get into more. And then that's when we'll start bringing our machines and using it then, okay? Any questions? None?
No.
All right, see you tomorrow. Shut that.